Namaste and welcome to this, our first week of chair yoga of the summer term. It's great to be back after the Easter holidays, and I hope those of you who are not joining us live but join us later on the video are doing well as well. Today we are focused on an energizing morning practice. So this whole term we are going to be looking at ways to develop a home yoga practice, and today is an energizing morning practice. So we're going to start on our feet, and we're going to start with a little variations of Kati Chakrasana. And I've also recorded a short video of this, which would be like a short 10-minute morning wriggle if you just need a little short something to start your day. But here we are going to start on our feet, and feet relatively wide. You don't need to have them super wide, but maybe as wide as your hips. And then just gently move your weight from side to side. So just a little wibble wobble. You can lift your whole foot away from the floor, or you can leave your toes on the floor. You can use the back of a chair for support or balance if you'd like to. So as you move from side to side, just feeling the feet come away from the floor, or the weight come away from your foot, and then back onto that foot. And eventually you can make your movements a little smaller until you are standing on both feet the same. And that's a really nice way to make sure your weight is evenly balanced between 2 feet, and that you feel grounded and connected and active in the soles of the feet. And then here we just give a little soft bounce of the knees to feel that we've got buoyancy in our joints, that we can adapt to the movement of the body. And then lifting from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head, a little engagement across the belly and the pelvic floor. And we're gently going to twist from side to side. And always starting this movement with a twist that's small enough that you don't feel any resistance in the body and no increased discomfort in the body. So just nice and small, easing the body into this kind of movement. And those with a sensitive low back, you might find that this irritates your low back if you keep your feet still. So for anyone who would like to, you can pivot on your toes as you twist. It doesn't have to irritate your back, just for some people it might. But if you find that it's easier or better for you to have the feet steady, then keep the feet steady. Allow your shoulders to be really relaxed, the arms heavy, and softness through your elbows and your fingers. Allow your arms to tap the body or wrap the body wherever they fall. Perhaps you can feel the beginnings of easing of tension through the muscles that support the back of the body, the sides, maybe even the chest and shoulders. And if you wish to, you can add a soft bend in the knee. And you don't need to go at this pace. You can slow it down, particularly if that helps your coordination, as long as you're keeping your arms nice and loose. And you can touch the opposite shoulder in front, if you like, the opposite side of your rib cage or hip behind you. Enjoy your movement. Enjoy this as a way to let go of anything you're holding on to from across your chest, your upper back, from across the abdomen, the hips. And hopefully by now you're beginning to feel a little warmer, and you can feel the effort in those larger muscles through the legs. And we're going to lose the bounce, just pivot on the toes for a moment, and then bring the feet back to steadiness and allow the arms to sway back to the sides of the body. When you come back to stillness, take a moment to experience that stillness without fidgeting too much, taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then we'll do one more, but sigh out through the mouth. Deep breath in and let it go. Very nice. Sometimes that just helps the shoulders really relax. Before we go into any more vigorous practices, we're going to just do something gentle for the neck. So bringing your chin down to your chest, feeling that gentle length down the neck, across the shoulders, maybe even between the shoulder blades. And then if you enjoy neck rolling, rolling one ear to shoulder and chin to chest, and the opposite ear to the opposite shoulder and chin to chest. You can keep going side to side. If you do not enjoy neck rolling like this, don't worry. I'm going to do another video all about different options for the neck, which will be a nice short introduction to limbering the neck. And you can find that elsewhere. Super duper. So for those who enjoy rolling in circles, you can do a couple of circles in each direction, being sure that whatever movements you choose are suitable for your body. So not asking too much, remembering to reverse your direction, not feeling any increased discomfort or pain or pushing through any resistance in the body. We want it to be nice, gentle and easy at this stage of our practice. The next time your chin comes to your chest, taking a moment to stop, smile, and then bring your head upright, and we'll just move the shoulders a little shoulder rolling. Who doesn't love a little shoulder rolling? And in the opposite direction as well. And that gives us enough warming up, if you like, to go on to our next practice, which is also based on the sort of movements of Kati Chakrasana, but done in a sideways direction. So we're still going to start with these nice wide feet. So we've got a firm foundation, but if anybody needs the support of their chair back in front of them, then you can use it here for sure. So we're going to begin by just swaying the arms from one side to the other. Doesn't matter how high up they come, it's not about that. It's just a gentle sway across the body. You might even feel the upper body just joining in a touch, but keeping nice and firm across the belly, nice and firm in the feet. Very good. And then if you want to, you can move from one foot to the other. So a little gentle length of the leg you're moving away from into the toe perhaps as you reach your arms. And for those who enjoy it, you can reach your arms a little higher. Perhaps as you warm the body up, that becomes more and more comfortable. And you can keep that soft bend in the knees in the center if that feels good to you. For those who would like to add an extra element to this, you can draw the arms and the leg back behind the body. So you go sideways and back. And you might even lift your foot off the floor, although if you're watching yourself on the screen like I just did, then you might wobble. So just doing what feels right to you. Can be nice and slow. It doesn't need to be super fast, but if you find a rhythm that suits you, and when you're doing this at home, you might enjoy putting on your favorite tune and just making it more like a little bit of a dance. Whenever you're ready, you can just allow your arms to become a little lower, that movement in the body becoming smaller until you come back to center. And again, taking a moment to stand, taking a deep breath in and out. Experience that sensation of coming back to stillness after movement and notice if there are any effects from your practice. And we'll do a cleansing breath here because I think that's really nice as well. So breathing in, taking the arms out and up, lifting your chest, reaching the hands, and breathing out as you draw your hands down through your center to your chest. Very good. Release the arms. And we're going to do one more variation of this sort of twisting, moving through the center, which really energizes this center of the body where we create heat and that sense of vitality. So we're taking the arms into cactus arms. We want the arms to be bent at the elbows. Don't get too hung up on whether it's a right angle or not, but if you look a bit like one of those standing cacti David Attenborough had on his most recent program, Green Planet, then that's great. Your elbows don't need to be lifted. They can be slightly lower if you like. And here we're going to firm the feet, a little soft in the knees, and try to twist from the middle of the body. So resisting a little bit with the hips. Start slowly. Find your way into this. You won't turn as far as you did with our previous twisting. So this is a much more pronounced twist, but it's much more contained as well. Lifting in the belly muscles, making sure you don't have any sensitivity or irritation in the back as a result of doing this. And you can soften your knees a little bit. So one knee might bend a little bit more and then the other, just as you twist from side to side. Keep your shoulder blades drawn together so you open your chest. Okay, so we're going to add an element to this. We're going to reach the hand across the body and then reach across in the opposite direction. As you do that, pull your other elbow back behind you. So we've taken our cactus hands to a horizontal rather than a vertical. So drawing the opposite elbow back to open your chest. And at the same time, we're reaching across the body to open the back on that longer arm side. Very good. And this is lovely on its own, but we can also reach up instead. So whenever you're ready, reaching diagonally up, drawing opposite elbow diagonally down behind you. And just noticing if this feels a little bit more comfortable or perhaps a little less comfortable. Hopefully it's about the same amount of comfort. Fingers crossed. And see if you can lift your chin a little as you do this one. Looking up, expanding that sense of space underneath the chin. Whenever you're ready, come back to the center, across the chest or shoulder height. And then we're going to go down. So reaching diagonally down across the body, lifting the opposite elbow diagonally up behind you, moving more through the top of the chest and the shoulders, maybe looking down ever so slightly. Very good. Just notice how differently it feels across the rib cage, particularly as you use these different angles. And then coming back to center just for a few to center ourselves before bringing yourself back to steadiness. You might want to sway a little bit as you come into your center, just relaxing the arms down by the side. It's quite a lot of effort actually across the body. So if you need to take a moment just to release the shoulders in any way, maybe a few dancing shoulders, or it might be that your shoulders are like, nope, I've had it. You can shake out your hands or your arms to release any tension that we've built up there. And then we'll take another great cleansing breath in, breathing in, reaching out and up. And breathing out, drawing the palms down through the center of the chest. Brilliant stuff. So hopefully you feel very awoken in the center of your body and wriggled out of some tension in the back of the body. But we haven't done much for our legs. So let us use our chairs as a little bit of support to work with our legs as well. So coming to the back of your chair seat, chair back even, and resting your fingertips here, you can equally use a wall or a countertop or a table, whatever feels best for you. We're going to make sure that the feet are underneath the hips. They don't have to be narrow, they can be wider if you prefer, not too wide, nice and straight, lifting from the sole of the foot to the crown of the head, and then floating up onto your tiptoes or up a little bit from the floor, and then floating down again. We're going to float all the way up and all the way down. If you need to go a little slower, you can, absolutely. Try not to go faster than this. There we are, we'll do one more, all the way up And then here we're going to just shake out the legs. Use the chair for support so you can easily move one foot off the floor and then the other, just giving the legs a little shake. Aces. So we are focused on energizing today, which means that we want to do things that move particularly the center of the body and make us feel full of energy as well. So we're going to do, starting with a little movement in the left leg, let's say. So holding onto the chair, we're going to draw the left knee up as high as feels comfortable. It might be just off the floor. It might be all the way up into the body. And then we're going to take the foot to the floor. So just seeing if this feels comfortable, taking the knee up and down. We're going to do 2 more if we can. So 4 in total. 4 feels like a good number today. There we are. And then in the center, just making sure that you feel still balanced. If you don't, holding on to your chair and just paddling your feet on the floor, and that sometimes can reset the pelvis. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side, a nice gentle lift, lifting your knee to wherever is comfortable, replacing the foot on the floor, lifting up and down, up and down, and up and down. It doesn't matter how high, it's not about that. Paddle your feet on the floor if that feels comfortable. We're going to add an element to this now. So we're going to lift the knee of the left foot up, and then we're going to take the heel back behind us. And see if you can stay on one foot. If you need to put your foot down in between each one, that's okay. But if you can stay standing on one foot, then that's great too. So lifting your left knee up, and then taking your left heel back. Left knee up, left heel back. Nice and firm in the belly, left knee up, left heel back. 1 more, left knee up, and left heel back. Very good. Okay, standing onto both feet, giving a little paddle, just making sure that everything feels nice and comfy. We'll do the same thing to the other side. Firm in the center, right knee up, and right heel back. Right knee up, right heel back. Remember, you can touch the floor between if you need to, and don't be alarmed if you need to. That's not a thing. It's just an extra support. When you've done 4, if you need to take a bit more time, that's fine. Then just paddling in place, and notice how you feel across your center. What we're going to do is a little bit of hip rolling so that we can iron out any kinks. So leaving the chair to one side for a moment, hands onto the hips if that feels good, a little soft in the knees, and just wriggling the pelvis backwards and forwards, or forwards and backwards, depending on which part of the pelvis you're talking about. If you imagine your pelvis is like a bowl of water, you're tipping water out of one side and then out of the other. And here we're making that movement happen with the muscles across the abdomen and across the back and the buttocks and the thighs. So there's a lot of action going on here. When you're ready, you can come into the center and do the same thing a little side to side. So a little side to side, tipping the water out of one side of the bowl and then the other. If it's helpful to have your hands on your hips to feel that, then you can. Remember not to do too much. So if you feel any sensitivity in the low back, make a small movement, or if you know a different movement that suits you better, make a different movement. We're going to come back to the center, stand tall, take a cleansing breath, breathing in, reaching out and up, lifting your chest, lifting your chin, breathing out, drawing the hands down through the center of the chest. Excellent stuff, guys. So returning to our chair backs. Woo. It's so lovely to work with a chair just for a tiny bit of support. We're going to do a little extra something, but along similar lines. So we're still going to stand mostly on the right foot for this practice. We're going to take the left toes out to the side and the right arm out to the side. So breathing in here, opening your chest, lifting in your belly. As you breathe out, bring your elbow and knee towards each other. So left elbow towards, no, right elbow towards left knee. And then stand tall, reaching out, toes can touch the floor. Breathing in and breathing out. Doesn't matter how close you get. Breathing in and breathing out. Feel as you breathe in that stretch and open of the body, and as you breathe out, that gentle little tuck. We'll do one more. Breathing in and breathing out. As you come to center, stand on both feet, nice and even. Maybe give yourself a little paddle in place if you like to. And then we will do the same thing to the other side. So here, we're stretching the right foot out and the left arm out, standing tall, that lift through the center of the body, breathing in, and then elbow to knee, left elbow to right knee across the body. Breathing in, standing tall, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Really lengthen and lift as you breathe in and breathing out. And then when you're ready, place this foot down as well, nice and centered, a little paddle in place. Brilliant stuff, guys. And remember, it really doesn't matter how close your elbow and knee get towards each other. It's the action of drawing in the front of the body and then lengthening out. Or drawing length into the back of the body and then up the other way around. It's always opposites in yoga. So let us do a little bit more hip swaying while we're here. So hands onto the hips. You don't have to sway your hips like I just did, but if you want to, you're absolutely welcome to. And then this time we're going to keep the knees a little bit longer and allow the pelvis to tip backwards and forwards, but use the whole or more of the body. So instead of being, as we did before, just tipping a little bit in the center, we're going to tip the whole pelvis backwards and forwards. Maybe longer in the torso and the legs. Just a gentle movement, like a wave through the body. And with that lift, maybe with a little bit of action across the buttocks as well. And then when you're ready, you can come to center and go side to side. So a little side to side again, just noticing if there's any irritation in the back of the body, making small movements or really gentle movements here instead of with the hips, with the torso. Very good. And when you have done all of those, we can come back to the center and we can make some circling of the hips. So circling the hips in any way that feels good to you. You might feel those muscles underneath your fingers switching on, switching off, moving around, and in the opposite direction as well. And we're doing this with our hips to begin with, but we're also going to do this with our upper bodies in a moment as well. When you're ready, coming back to the center. And then here in the center, trying to keep the hips still and moving your rib cage or your chest around your hips. So it's a little bit of a different movement. I should do it sideways on as well so you can see. I hope that it's obvious. So the hips are staying quite still, and it's the torso and the rib cage and the chest that are moving around the center of the hips. Let's go in the opposite direction as well. Requires a little bit of effort through those belly muscles, through the muscles in the side of the body as well as the back of the body. Very good. We'll do one more like this. And then coming to center, just relaxing your arms down to your side for a moment, feeling yourself in coming to steadiness and stillness, noticing the effect of your practice. We'll take a cleansing breath, breathing in, reaching out and up. And breathing out, coming all the way down through the center of the chest. Fantastic stuff. So we're going to put the chairs to one side for a moment. We will come back to do a downward facing dog shortly, which will further help to alleviate any feelings of effort in the low back. But we want to wriggle through the spine a little bit more. We've spent a lot of time twisting in this class, and twisting is a really good way to lift your spirits, to raise your vitality. But any movements of the spine will also help to stir up your energy and encourage movement where there perhaps is occasional sluggishness. And after Easter, I was very sluggish myself. So we will be firm in the belly, and we're going to start with let's start with the fingertips onto the shoulders, and we'll just make some elbow circles. So starting nice and small, circling the elbows. And then if you feel comfortable, you can make these circles a little bit bigger, but there's no need to make them bigger than they naturally come. And there's no need to have any clunking or clicking or resistance in the body. Pain does not equal gain in yoga. If you wish to, you can bring your elbows towards each other in front of you and bring the elbows behind the body a little as you circle. But again, just making your circling nice and natural. Very good. We're going to go the opposite way as well. You can start small in the opposite direction. That sometimes helps because one direction might be more clunky than the other. Certainly is for me. And then when you're ready, you can make your circling a little larger if that's comfortable for your body. Eventually, you might get your elbows towards each other in front of you. And again, moving behind the body as they move back and apart. Very good. When you're ready, and at the bottom of this movement, just relaxing the arms down to the side, giving the shoulders a bit of a shrug, giving the head a bit of a movement as well, anything that feels good in your body. So we're going to come back to this fingertips on top of the shoulders or towards the chest, so that we can keep the lever of the arm quite short, which means it's less strain on the shoulder joint. And that's not just a chair yoga thing, that's an all yogis thing. We try to keep that shoulder nice and supported. And this time, we're going to stand tall, nice wide base. You can do these equally well sitting down if your legs are getting tired. But lifting tall, you're going to bring the elbows towards each other in front of the body, chin towards the chest, just a touch, and then take the elbows back behind the body, opening the chest, lifting the chin. Elbows towards each other, chin towards chest, and elbows back and opening, lifting the chin. So we're rounding through the upper back as the elbows come towards each other, maybe scooping the belly in a touch, and keeping the belly lifted, opening the chest. You can breathe out as the elbows come towards each other, and breathe in as the elbows come back. Let's do one more. And then when you're ready, just relaxing the arms down, relaxing the hands down to the sides. You might feel it's quite a lot of work in your shoulders, so give yourself a little wriggle or a little shrug to release. And hopefully that feels quite delicious across your back as well. We're now going to come back to our chair backs for a little downward facing dog. So hands onto your chair back or onto the wall if you prefer, or a table, and then walking your feet away from you, a little soft in the knees before you extend through your tailbone, pressing down into the chair seat itself, scooping the belly in, and just finding your way into a position that feels good to you. Now, it's good to have a bit of movement here. So perhaps just keeping a little softness in the knees. You can lengthen one leg a little more and then the other, bending the opposite knee a little bit more. Or you can keep both knees nice and soft and maybe sway your hips or your tailbone from side to side, which I absolutely love. It's a really nice way to release the sides of the body and tension from the low back as well. Keep pressing down into your hands. And if you wish to, you can simply hold in stillness in the center and explore lengthening the backs of the legs, but without strain in your low back. And then when you're ready, gently looking towards your seat as you press into your hands and walk your feet forward to come up to a standing position. holding onto the seat when you come upright, just to make sure that everything is nice and steady as you change perspective and change orientation of the body. And then releasing the arms down to the side, we'll take a big cleansing breath, breathing in, out and up. And breathing out as you draw your hands down through the center. Let's do one more of those. Breathing in, reaching out and up. And breathing out, hands down through your center. Fantastic stuff. Okay, so for those whose shoulders feel like they've got something else in them, then we can do another lovely, beautiful opening practice for the front of the body, a little bit energizing as well. But if you feel like your shoulders have had enough, it is perfectly acceptable to take a seat and take a rest. Just watch and join in maybe next time instead. So for this practice, it's like what we did with our elbows before, but with the whole arm. We're going to bring the backs of the hands towards each other in front of the body, lengthen the fingertips away and drop the chin towards the chest. And then take the arms open, lifting the chest, taking the arms perhaps back behind the body, maybe turning the palms upwards, and then rolling through the spine to draw the chin towards the chest, the backs of the hands towards each other. Nice and firm in the feet and firm in the belly, taking the palms open, lifting the chest, and then backs of the hands towards each other. If you like going nice and steadily, if this suits you for balance, then that's great. Keep going in this direction or in this rhythm. If you want to do a little bit more, I'm just going to move that chair ever so slightly out of the way, then you can make the hands do a figure of 8 movement, or the arms do a figure of 8 movement by the side of the body, firm in your center, and allow your spine to flow as your arms move, like the wings of a bird. And just doing a few of these, whichever variation you prefer. One more. Finish with the arms wide from the body, turning the hands to float down to your sides. And that hopefully feels like your shoulders have done lots and lots of work today, just giving the shoulders a little bit of a wriggle. And we do these movements to promote strength in the upper back and promote openness in the chest, which is a really nice way to undo the stooping posture that tends to come with age. Now, if you are lovely upright in your posture, then that's great. But I certainly find the stooping is happening to me, and I need to work on that. So particularly if you have spent a lot of time working at a desk or at a computer, maybe not now, but in previous years, then you get a little bit of stooping. We're just undoing that. But you'll be pleased to know that that part of the class is over, and we're coming to sitting down on our seats again. And it would be good to have your block handy. We're just going to do a little breathing exercise to give us a bit of relief from what we've previously done in this class. So sitting on your seat, not back in your seat, but at the front of the seat, making sure you've got an adequate portion of the buttocks and perhaps the tops of the thighs, so you feel nice and stable. And if your knees don't stay in line with your hips as you sit down, something underneath your feet to help to help that happen is quite nice. It's more restful for the hips, so it doesn't pull on the hips so much. When you come to sitting, rest your hands wherever you're comfortable. Press your feet gently down and feel that activation of the leg muscles and a lift through the center of the body into the crown of the head, closing your eyes for a moment. Taking a few breaths here, softening any effort that you can feel in the body, perhaps focusing on relaxing your forehead, that area around your eyes, your mouth and tongue and jaw and shoulders. Notice what kind of breath you're breathing right now. Maybe the rate and the rhythm of your breath. If it's shallow, try to encourage a deeper breath, just slowing down. Breathing more fully into the rib cage, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. As you exhale, gently drawing your belly muscles inwards and upwards to further exhale completely. Breathing deeply in, relaxing the belly to fill the sides of the body, the back and the chest. Breathing out slow and deep, but engaging across the navel to breathe out completely. Relaxing the belly to breathe deeply in, fill the torso, fill the ribcage. Breathing out long and slow and deep, engaging to breathe out completely. Breathing in, feeling the breath moving into the back of the body, lifting the crown of the head a little taller. Breathing out. Doing 2 or 3 more of these in your own time, sighing out through your mouth if you feel inclined to do so. Feeling that big exchange of air. Enjoying the opportunity for more clarity of thought. Energizing not just the body, but also the mind. And then when you're ready, just allowing your breath to fall into its natural rhythm and fall into quietness and opening your eyes when you're completed in your practice. Very good. So breathing deeply and fully, experiencing that really long, slow breath is a really nice way during the day just to give yourself a little pep, a pep of energy, a pep of vitality. And if you still feel fatigued at the end of that, it's a really good idea to have a little nap. But if you feel that you're ready for action, then do something with it. Do something with the energy, which is what we're going to do right now. So we're going to bring the knees and the feet towards each other and sit really, really tall. And then taking our arms, we'll take the right hand across the body to the left thigh or knee, and the left hand behind the body. We're just reaching because we're not going to hold this twist. And then we're going to revolve out, arms nice and wide. Take the left hand across the body to the right thigh or knee and reach the right hand back. Let's do that a few more times to each side, 2 more times. So reaching as we twist to the left and reaching wide and twisting to the right. Keeping that upright lift, that firm center. 1 more time in each direction, knees together. And twisting the opposite way. Lovely job. And then coming back to the center and just resting your arms down by your side and keeping the feet and the knees and the legs in this position. We're just gently going to sway from side to side. I'm using the sides of my chair, the chair legs, to run my fingers down. But equally, you might want to hold on to your seat or have your hands on your hips if you prefer. Just a little side to side. Very good. And then coming to center, we're going to place the hands onto the thighs, press down into the hands and the feet to lift the chest, and then just fold forward a little bit. So we're looking for a little bit of a forward bend. If you want to, you can rest your forearms down on your knees and just curl a little further. If it feels super comfortable, you might want to run your hands down the front of your shins and just drape your body towards your thighs. But that's completely optional. Don't go into your forward bend too far if it doesn't feel comfortable. Wherever you get to, allow your neck to relax, Chin to come towards the chest if you're a little bit higher up, or to rest towards your knees if you're a little bit further down. Taking a couple of deep breaths and just feeling the length and opportunity for length in the back of the body. Maybe sighing out through your mouth. And then we're going to bring the hands back up to the knees if they're not there already. Press into the hands to help the body back to an upright position. And when you get to an upright position, we'll take a cleansing breath. Breathing in, reaching out and up, lifting your chin and your chest, and breathing out, hands down through the center of the chest. Brilliant stuff. We're going to take these feet and move them apart so that they're about hip width apart, but still about the width of your block, perhaps, if you're using a block or an atlas or something like that. Pressing down into the feet to lift up into the crown of the head, taking the arms wide. We're doing our twists again, but with the legs in this position. So reaching the right arm across to the left thigh, the left hand behind, reaching back to the center and to the opposite side. We're going to do two more. Reaching arms wide and then twisting, remembering to lift in the belly muscles. Arms wide and then twisting. One more time to each side. Going nice and steady and slower if you prefer. Coming back to the center, reaching the arms down, just relaxing the shoulders, giving them a shrug or a wriggle if they need it. Still pressing the feet down to lift tall, finding that engagement through the torso, a very gentle bend from side to side. So we're not looking for the furthest that you can go, it's just a little awakening of the sides of the body. We've worked with them through the class. We are doing this really for balance, because twisting is balanced out by forward and backward bending and side bending. Coming back to center. Whenever you're ready, resting your hands onto your thighs, press down into the hands to lift your chest, looking up. And as you exhale, folding forward over your thighs to wherever feels good. So if you want to keep your back longer, then roll the shoulder blades towards each other, lengthen through the crown of the head, keep a very open chest, and use the support of the elbows and the arms so that your back remains in a nice long shape. If you want to go a little bit deeper, then resting your forearms down onto your knees and maybe letting the shoulders soften a touch, scoop your belly in any of these positions to really help the low back lengthen. If you wish to go a little bit further still, you can slide your hands down your shins or down your legs and drape your body towards your legs. And it's okay to rest on whatever part of your body touches your legs. So I am definitely resting on my chest here, but that's great. It gives my upper back a chance to soften and spread, relaxing the back of the neck. Just a little lift in the belly muscles for a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Whenever you're ready, you can come up in two different ways here. You can tuck your chin to your chest, press into the legs, scoop the belly in, and roll back up to sitting, and that might suit some. But if you prefer, you can take your hands to the tops of the knees, press into the hands to help lever the body back up to an upright position from whichever position you are in. Awesome stuff. And when you come to your upright position, reaching your arms down, taking a deep breath in, reaching out and up. And a deep breath out as you draw your hands down through the center of your chest. Let's do one more as we're here. Breathing in, reaching out and up. And breathing out, drawing the arms down through the center of the chest. Very good. We're going to take our feet now off the blocks if they've been on blocks, so they're a little bit wider. Again, just making sure that you're nice and centered on your chair. Hands wherever they fall, so it could be hips, it could be thighs, it could be knees. If you've got longer arms than me, maybe it's knees. And then we're going to sway our body around in a circle. So as if we were circling the crown of the head or the heart around the base of the spine. Just finding your way here, keeping a nice lift through the center of the body, being a little bit contained perhaps, a little bit smaller in your movement. And if you wish to, you can make your movement a little bit bigger, but allow your head and neck to move as you move, allow your shoulders to move as you move. And you don't have to get any bigger, but if you wish to, you can, making sure you're nice and strong in that center, strong in the feet as well. Very good. Whenever you're ready, coming to an upright position, taking a moment in stillness, and then moving in the opposite direction, but starting small first. Okay, starting small, just moving around your center, nice and firm in the belly. When you're ready, if you want to, you don't have to, but you can explore a larger movement and allow the head and the shoulders to also be part of that movement. But firm in the feet, firm in the center of the body. Making sure that it feels safe and secure. And we're going to do one more in this direction to finish sitting upright. And we're ready for the relaxation portion of our class. I realize I've left my blanket over there. So when you're ready in your center, we'll take one cleansing breath, breathing in and breathing out as we draw the hands down through the center of the chest. If you feel at this point there are any movements you haven't made that you'd like to make, then feel free. If you want to stand up and stretch your legs and arms for a moment, or stretch your back out for a moment, then that's great. Gather the things that you need for relaxation. I'm going to dash over here and grab a jumper and a blanket. No doubt you guys are all much better organized and have them to hand. So making yourself cozy, particularly Flora, who's without heating today. Woo! So when you come to sitting for relaxation, sit right back into your seat. You can still support your feet on a block if that feels good. And just making sure you're warm enough that you will be able to be relaxed during the relaxation, because that's the whole point. If at this point you wish to recline on a sofa with some cushions for support, or under the knees perhaps, or recline on your bed, absolutely. Pause the video, take it with you, or if you're live in class, just take your screen with you. As long as you can hear, or if you feel able to do your own relaxation, that's fine too. So we're going to settle ourselves back into the seat and down into the floor, resting the hands wherever feels good for you. Closing your eyes. Taking a few moments to allow the body to land here, particularly if you had to scarper to gather your relaxation things like me. Just allow your body to find steadiness again, your breath and heart rate to settle. Finding that sense of stillness, rest, and ease. We're going to take a deep breath in, sighing out through the mouth. And repeat 3 more times, a long deep breath in. Let all your effort go. A long deep breath in. Let your muscles begin to relax. A last deep breath in. Surrendering back and down into your seat. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm, falling into quietness. feel that as the breath softens, your body can also soften, taking your awareness into your forehead. Feel it spreading. The area around your eyes relaxing. Your mouth, tongue, and jaw releasing. Feel the shoulders getting heavy, the feet getting heavy, the backs of the thighs, the buttocks and sit bones, the back of the body where it touches the chair. Even the weight of the head aiding gravity to feel grounded, steady in this place of rest. Allow the whole of the body to feel that sense of heaviness, being at comfort, warm, supported, releasing down, letting go. Move your awareness to your breath and just notice your natural breath. And this time, without engaging the belly muscles, just deepen the breath a little more. So the breath is slow, long, but soft and easy as well. With each breath in, drawing in prana, energy, light. Each breath out, releasing tension, fatigue, and discomfort. Each breath in, drawing in peace, ease, tranquility. Each breath out, releasing anxiety, fear, tension. Breathing in vitality. Breathing out fatigue and pain. Breathing in love. Breathing out peace. Allow your breath to fall in this rhythm for the remainder of your relaxation whenever you're aware of it. Softening a little deeper with every exhalation. Gently begin to bring your awareness back to this time and this place. Maybe breathing a little more fully. Maybe finding a gentle smile across your face. When you're ready, you can begin to move your hands and your feet, maybe rolling the wrists, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, rolling the ankles. In your own time, you can take a deep breath in and stretch the body in any way that feels good, baby. As you do. In your seated position, just gently turning the head from one side to the other, just a little gentle turn to ease any tension out of the neck, particularly after sitting. And then when you're ready, you can bring your hands to the center of your chest and just take your chin towards your chest for a moment. Take this moment to give yourself gratitude for making time for this practice, to support your health and your well-being, to make your inner sunshine shine bright, especially on these rainy days, smiling gently to yourself and in your own time, raising your head and opening your eyes. Thank you for joining in this practice today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you feel vital for the rest of the day. Do be sure to check out the other videos that accompany this week